I need to ask you a question. Be curious, Drifters.
Allegron's won the Brisbane Cup, but it's all Antino. Blake Shin, take a bow. Barraquil, Benny Allen hasn't moved.
Broadside him, bobbed, won the Golden Rose.
Pride of Jenny, trying to find the reserves at the 100. She's 3 in front of Mr. Brightside. It's all too late. Pride of Jenny has run them into the night. Switzerland, the big winner by 2.5 Bellatrix Star.
He's down, Jolly Star. She is a star in the making. Jolly Star bolts in.
It's all Isthmus. She's very smart and fast.
Mate, how are you? Bit of a reunion. 15 years since we finished up high school, which is wild. How are the boys doing?
Yeah, well. I consider them drifters. Yeah, most of them seem well. They probably sound better than I do today. Throat like razor blades, which I'm sure the drifters find really soothing on their eardrums when they listen to this podcast. But no, it was a good day, mate. Would have loved to have had you there, but you've got your hands full.
I do. Ned's app in one hand, infant in the other. So,
which is more important?
Yeah. So, it's we've kind of got into a good routine at the moment where, especially like Fridays and Saturday nights, where there's either rugby league or, since it's September and springtime and finals footy time, the Brisbane Lions are bound to be playing as well, right? So
7 years in a row, I think.
Yeah, and 4 prelims in a row. So thanks for coming, brah.
Lovely hat, by the way.
Yeah, up the Roy boys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at the moment, young Jack is just been bottle fed. That's my responsibility as a father. And then I settle him down, and then at half time I'm like, all right, bruh, it's time to go to bed. And then I have the second half baby free, which last night was particularly good because I think the Suns only kicked 3 goals after quarter time or something. So thanks for coming, bruh, but you don't quite get it. So
yeah, do you know what yesterday was for the Suns? It was massive little brother energy.
Yeah.
After quarter time, they dropped the bottom lip and.
Oh, sorry! Don't be so mean to me,
mate. After the first 5 minutes of the game, mate, they kicked the first 2 goals of the game. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So it was basically 100 points or whatever we scored to 30. It's essentially what the score was.
I'm just going to start calling them the young Mick Joneses, the Suns, the little brother energy, dropping the bottom lip. Yeah, it was. I watched a replay this morning at Mum and Dad's, and it was actually in the last quarter, maybe the last 2 quarters. The Lions had so many behinds that could have easily been goals too. Like it could have been 120, 130 to
easy
to whatever it was. But hey, you take the dub, you move on to next week. Pie the pies at the G, and then into a grand final.
Yeah, which back to the scene of the crime from the first week. So. Yeah, fingers crossed, because, I was criticising our forward line last week. Well, Ty Gallop's looking like a Jonathan Brown 2.0, so that's good.
He's looking like a 300-game player.
Mate, I was actually, and, we'll get onto the horse racing analysis soon, but I was actually thinking about this last night, right? So Dane Zorko, 300-game player, and I was like, okay, I feel like he's been around forever, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like Hugh McCluggage, who's played 200 games, started like yesterday, but he's played more games than he hasn't with Dane Zorko, like in Zorko's career. I was like, that's
weird to think about.
Yeah. I was like, wow, okay. That's, it was bizarre to kind of think about it from that lens. You know what I mean?
So Zork, 2/3 of the games that Zork has played for the Lions, Hugh McCluggage has also played.
Yeah.
That is crazy to think about.
Yeah. And Hugh's the 3rd quickest to 200 games ever.
At the Lions or just ever?
Ever. because of the amount of finals he's played as well.
And also, Bro doesn't get injured, really, does he?
No, he's definitely injured
Touch wood.
now.
Fuck yeah,
you could tell on defence, mate. He wasn't running.
Not interested.
No, I thought they would have subbed him out, like give him a quarter off, get Bruce in.
Yeah.
But get Bruce into the middle. That would have been nice. And
That
his
young,
rifle spot, I would have thought.
Yeah, Bruce is good. That young
Bruce is great.
That young Sam Marshall though, like he looks likely as well. He looks like he's going to be a good footy player.
Yeah, well, squads win premierships, mate. So, it's your
Well said.
It's your top 30. It's not your best 22.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, all I can say to the Suns is apart from being the Mick Jones of the AFL, little bros, losers have meetings, and winners have parties.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
Joe Danaher said something similar to that at a Noosa lunch spot the week after the premiership, I believe.
That's right. That's so funny. That's a great reference.
Cargo ships, friendships, premierships.
Oh, brings a tear to the eye. Hey, another big game this afternoon. Whilst we're still talking about codes outside of horse racing, your Broncos versus the Milk. How you feeling about it?
Good, mate. Yeah, form team of the comp. Because it's looking likely, if they win this, then they'd probably go up against the Panthers, right? Because the Bulldogs are kind of licking their wounds a bit with a few injuries as well. So, which it'd be if they make the grand final, I think they win it. If they go that way, but full credit to the Milk. But I think is it full cream? I don't know.
Are they giving you Adelaide Crows vibes?
Mate, that was wild. Yeah, potentially, but I feel like they still have some pretty. They have a decent team. Like I look at that Ethan Strange, I'm like, oh, you're hot.
He's a throbber.
Yeah, you're hard to play against. But yeah, like if Reece just tones it down a little bit, and he's well hydrated from his toilet water, I reckon anything's possible.
I agree. It depends on the water in Canberra, though.
Yeah.
What's in the toilets down there?
Well, to be fair, mate, it is a shithole. So,
it is. It is. But yeah, to your point, is the Milk full cream? I don't know. Could be soy. Could be little soy boys this afternoon. We'll see.
You know who was soy boys yesterday, mate? The jockeys in the Makybe Diva Stakes.
What a segue. Fuck, they were though. That was. I was watching it with a good friend of the show, Jake Millen, and he said, "What a joke!" Literally, as you text me saying, "What a joke!" I'm pulling my head off like Kitty Cat Tom. Stupid. Just
yeah.
It played out exactly how he thought it was going to play out, which is actually ridiculous because the jockeys, the trainers, would have been looking at that race in far more depth than what we were, and it played out exactly like we thought it was going to play out. It was ridiculous.
And I think everyone in the post-race, everyone's going like, well, Blake was supposed to make the move. It's like, well, I'm sorry, but Antino always gets trained for one run of prep. So don't blame it on Blake and Antino. Like there's 4 other horses in the field outside of Brightside. Any one of you could have made a move. Now in the stewards report, I saw that J-Mac said that Via Sistina was laying out and she just wasn't travelling. And I'm trying to put the responsibility back on me, the punter. And it's like, all right, could I have foreseen this, right? So Brightside coming out of fast run Memsey probably has more match fitness than a slowly run Winx in comparison to Aliana and Via Sistina. Sure. Mm-hmm. You could argue that. But I then went through my data and had a look at miles run at Flemington this year. This is wild stuff. That was the second slowest mile run at Flemington this year from good 4 to soft 6 rated tracks. So
That's wild.
The only horse that ran slower was Marble Arch, who ran a 99.89. That was a 98.75. So I'm going to list off all the horses that ran quicker than Mr. Brightside yesterday. Smokin' Princess in a Fillies and Mares benchmark 78. Ganacho in a benchmark 70. Smokin' Princess again in a benchmark 84. Marble Arch in a Group 2. Feroce, Verdad, Tom Kitten, Treasure of the Moment, sure. Jenny Lala, Arthur Nardos, Enuxo, O2 Good, Taken, Bucklew in a 2-year-old handicap listed race. From a distance, Jimmy the Bear. Now, full respect to Jimmy.
Was that in a benchmark 100 or?
Yeah. He was in a listed handicap, actually, so he's actually stood up. He's in career best. Lake Vostok as well. Like, that gives full context to what I'm talking about. It was farcical. So, is there a question mark on all these horses moving forward? Like, they probably need another barrier trial. I saw it on Twitter yesterday. I think it was Shane Curlew, maybe, basically said $750,000 for a barrier trial. It's exactly what it was.
Oh, it was a joke. It was an absolute joke. And I'm sorry, going back to J-Mac's comments on Via Sistina, please, James, you're on a Ferrari, brother, and you're riding it like a Toyota Yaris. Like, please.
And you'd know. You've had your hands on a Yaris for about a decade.
I don't know a Ferrari though. I don't know what that's like. I've been in one though. Go to see Sneesby Racing. Look, I love that research from you. That is phenomenal. The 1600 metre data, love that. And it just goes to show that they handed it to Mr. Brightside on a platter. If Treasure of the Moment was in that race, she brains them because she would have led. She would have led up, and she just would have put him to the sword. So it's a blessing in disguise that she wasn't in that race. She'll go to the fan, different form line into a Cox plate. That's what I want.
Yep.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
it's a farcically run, and I was waiting for Blake to make a move. To be fair, I was like, mate, you're on the back of Via. If any horse is going to bring you into the race, it's her. But you need to go now. When they were coming around that bend, I was like, you need to go now, and just never did. I think he was waiting for James, maybe. I don't know. It was bizarre, and I hated it. That's a poor display of racing in Australia, and it doesn't happen anywhere else.
In a tactical show, like there's slowly run. Arguably in Europe, they go even slower, right? But that was something else. I'm looking at the racing.com sectionals data right now. Now they have how it's rated in terms of the the grade of the race as well, and it's rating at 21.8 lengths slower than standard. For Group 1 standard. So, like on all figures, this is just it's zero gauge, and all your David Gately's and the like, and all the form students and the data guys are going to be. I just don't know what to do with this race moving forward.
Sorry, mate, keep going.
Aliana and Via Sistina clocked the 5th fastest last 200 metres of the race, of the meeting rather. Both of them, 11:24. So they've rattled home probably as quick as they could, but it was mathematically impossible for them to win. Yeah. So what I think, this is the danger for me now, right, is I think the writing's on the wall for races like this, and I could foresee this happening within the next 2 to 3 years in races like this, especially with bigger fish to fry at the end of the prep. There's going to be pacemakers put into these races. So say, all right, let's for instance, for argument's sake, say like a Deny Knowledge was trained by Chris Waller, right? Same connections as Via Sistina. They will go, we want this to be a genuinely run race. So they put that horse into a field like this, where she probably earns her spot into there, but it just kind of like will muddy the waters a little bit, if you know what I mean. It's I think it kind of opens it up to those sort of scenarios moving forward, which hopefully, if it's more running more genuine tempo, the best horse will win the race more often than not anyway. But it's just, feel like we're not too far off that sort of stuff happening, which happens in Europe more often.
Yeah. Yeah, you make a good point. I'm thinking about Sir Dragonette's Cox Plate win.
Grand Slam.
Grand Slam was the pacemaker there, and he was a horse who needed a genuine pace, and he got it. Yeah, and for me that's worrying because it's and there very well could be a future very soon where we see these Group 1 fields and half the horses have green silks with white and green checkered sleeves, and half of them are trained by Chris Waller. And you're not seeing a genuine contest between multiple connections and multiple trainers and stuff. You're seeing things being laid out on a silver platter for the best horse in the race or whoever they want to win.
Basically, it's like Aidan and Joe O'Brien over in the UK.
Yeah, exactly. And we've already seen a little bit of it in the last few weeks, where Yulong had to come out and say, "This is what we're doing with Treasure. This is what we're doing with Via," and ultimately I was happy because they're both going to face off in a Cox Plate still, fingers crossed. But the fact that they even had to come out and say, "Oh, we're going to separate our horses from each other because we want them both to win Group 1s," I as a punter and a lover of the great game horse racing, I want to see the best horses race against each other as often as possible. Like Treasure of the Moment's never. Think about this: Treasure of the Moment, Autumn Glow, Lady Shenandoah, and I'm forgetting another one. Aliana, all 4-year-old mares, all going to be weight for age horses who could probably race against each other theoretically at a mile. Haven't raced against each other once as 4-year-old mares. And to me, that's not a good thing. They should be racing against each other all the time. Who's the best?
Yeah,
we don't know.
To be fair though, the plan was for, say, a Lady Shenandoah and Autumn Glow to go against each other, but then Autumn Glow had a bone chip as well. So there is a caveat there, but I completely I get what you mean. Like, we should have seen Aliana go up against Treasure of the Moment in the Oaks.
Yeah, but she wasn't because Chris Waller wanted to avoid her, which is fair enough because she's a very good horse. But it's just, I don't know. I don't like the over engineering because you can't predict the future, and you can't try and control the future, and you can't control your own destiny in horse racing sometimes. Like how ironic was it that as soon as Yulong announced that they were going to separate Via Sistina and Treasure of the Moment gets colic and can't actually race in that Makybe Diva. So yeah. But anyway, that race just pissed me off. Yeah.
And one thing I was actually thinking, which I failed to ask you on Thursday, but is there a universe where, because I believe forget the owner's name, but the owner and the inventor of the whole Yulong organisation is quite superstitious, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a universe where Treasure of the Moment gets yoinked off Matt Laurie because of this colic situation? Because you told me he yoinked Angel Capital because of something similar.
Yeah, he did. If she doesn't win the Fiend Stakes, there is a 1,000,000% a universe where she gets taken off him and given to probably Chris Waller, maybe Kieran Maher, 100%. But and it was only a few years ago we were talking about Yulong as an absolute laughing stock. And ultimately, that amount of money coming into the Australian racing industry is a good thing, I think. Like, the net positive is the net is positive. But I don't like the over-engineering, you know what I mean? I just don't like it. Let the best horses race against each other.
Yeah, and I think it's probably fuel's been put on the fire because of the pattern, especially from Sydney as well.
Yeah.
Like a Golden Eagle, like this year, theoretically, that should be the race of the year with how good these 4-year-olds are going. But they're that good that they're probably not even going to land up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're Cox Plate horses, and so they should be.
Yeah. But you'll get, like, say, an Autumn Glow probably go there, potentially against the Shenandoah Everest into a Golden Eagle, Arcadia Queen style. So, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. So I think it's a fascinating time, and I'm hearing a lot of pundits as well, and I would probably be in this camp, that this is one of the most fascinating springs and most anticipated springs that we've had for a long time, because these 4-year-olds they are actually matching it with these open age, aging weight for age horses, and we've probably got more, what seems more depth in these ranks as we could possibly want. But then you see a result like that, it's like, kind of like the air goes out of the room. It's like, come on, guys. Like, that's like, it's history made for Mr. Brightside. And he's the horse that you can't actually fault. Like, they've basically gone in with a game plan and they've absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
But the rest of the connections just need a really good, hard, long look at themselves, because it doesn't do their preps any good either.
No, it doesn't. No, you nailed it. Yeah, all credit to Mr. Brightside and the Hayes boys. He's won 10 Group 1s. And I don't want to bag the horse at all. Like, I love Mr. Brightside. He's as honest as they come. He's consistent. He's been doing it for a long time. But if we look at the horses who've won 10 Group 1s across Australia and New Zealand, and you put them all on a pedestal, he's got to be the lowest, because I think he's capitalised on a gluttony of Group 1 races that I don't think should be considered as Group 1 races. And I also think he's been the best horse in a time where our weight for age stocks are probably as low as they've ever been. But good on him then. You know what I mean? Like, you can only beat what's in front of you. And he's got 10 Group 1s. He's got a stack of prize money. He's got a stack of connections. The Hayes boys have managed him beautifully. He's an 8-year-old gelding. But, like, I look at his CV with 10 Group 1s, and I look at Very Elegant CV with 10 Group 1s. Different fucking gravy. Different gravy.
Yeah. Yeah. And you look at, say, like, 10-time Group 1 winners that immediately come to mind that are similar-ish horses, like So You Think, right? 2-time Cox Plate winner. 5-time Group 1 winner in Australia, 5-time Group 1 winner overseas. Like, he has nothing on a So You Think. And how many has he won 5 Group 1s at, 3 Makybe Divas, 2 Doncasters. I'd assume you'd throw in like an All-Star Mile if they were a Group 1 level.
He's won an All-Star Mile. I think he's won either a Memsey and a CF4, or like 2 CF4s and a Futurity. You know what I mean? Like those 1400 metre. So
that's, so he's gone say he's like a 4 or 5-time Group 1 winner, probably a 4-time Group 1 winner over 1400 metres, and a 5 or 6-time Group 1 winner over a mile. 3 of them being in tactically run Makybe Diva Stakes, and his career best wins are easily the Doncasters, like especially that second one. Like, you cannot take that away from him. Absolutely not. So it's just you compare that CV to a So You Think, and he's always going to be. Yeah, you've nailed it. He's just been the best open age, weight for age miler in a really poor batch.
Yeah. And it's also, you look at the horses who've put him to the sword. Sometimes, like prior to Jenny, when she was at her best, braining him. Via Sistina, braining him. It's he's been beaten in a Group 1 by Pinstriped.
Yeah, but he also got nosed out in a Cox Plate versus Romantic Warrior. Like
True.
that's where it's like you can hang. I feel like, broadly speaking, I completely get the knock on his CV and career, but at the same time, he's a fucking good horse.
Oh mate, he's a phenomenal horse. Phenomenal horse. But I think he's been managed incredibly well, and I think he's been, he's taken advantage of the fact that we have too many Group 1s, and we don't, and the last few years has been pretty poor from a Group 1 weight for age perspective. But yeah, you're so right. He's a good horse, and anyone who's like listening to this being like, "Oh, you guys are dickheads," like he's a phenomenal horse, like Mr. Bright. So it's like so fair, like fair enough. It's just our opinion. But yeah, yesterday just pissed me off, and it took away from what otherwise was a phenomenal day of racing with some handy winners.
Yeah, agreed. Like he has a better, from a Group 1 perspective, better numbers than Makybe Diva now. Like, she was a 7-time Group 1 winner. And she won, I think she won Memsie Stakes when it was a Group 2, Group 3, which they should be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just inflating careers these days. How many Group 1s would have, so you think, landed up with against this current crop?
15. Like he'd have more than what he does now. Like Animo won 9 Group 1s, right? And he's a better horse than Mr. Brightside, but he would have been pantsed by So You Think. Pantsed. Like Animo wouldn't have won any Group 1s in the Northern Hemisphere over 1600 to 2000. I don't think. I think he would have been competitive, absolutely, but he rattled off 9 Group 1s in 3 seasons of racing, like 3 autumns, 3 springs, or whatever. And yeah, it was like that. Like the Group 1s just kept coming, and you see that, like Treasure of the Moment's already won 4, and she's a 4-year-old mare. So yeah, there's just so many of them. And it's funny, the Asian Racing Committee just like knocked back a proposal from New South Wales Racing to add another 4 to their calendar. It's like, guys, this is... We don't need another 4, we need 4 less. We need 10 less. If that was a Group 2 yesterday, that Makybe Diva Stakes, do you reckon it would have been run the same way?
Probably. I don't know. Yeah, there's probably.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I don't know the answer to that. Like, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, that's wild to think. I've heard some pundits as well say that Via Sistina is the closest thing that they've seen to Winx. What are your thoughts on that?
Since Winx is retired, I don't really agree with that. But she's a phenomenal horse. I think she's had one Winx-like performance, and that was in the Cox Plate. And the rest, she's just I think she's just a really good weight for age horse, where we we don't have many. I think she's a phenomenal horse for Sistina. But I wasn't going to dive into $1.75 yesterday.
No.
So Multi's up in flames yesterday.
Mate, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. All right. Enough about that dross. No idea what it means, but I think you're absolutely right. I think it blessing in disguise for Treasure of the Moment moving forward. Get a more genuinely run Fian, without Frosty, who's got a holiday as well, so he won't be riding. But yeah, around the valley too, she gets to have a look at the valley, so some match fitness there, and I guess it's probably, and that's what's made just your point about Pride of Jenny. That's what made out the miles over that 18-month period so good to watch.
So good
because she lit it up. It was so good.
So
Bring
good.
it back.
Yeah.
Bring it back.
Do you reckon they'll fly J-Mac down to ride her on a Friday night?
Treasure the moment. Ooh. Nah, I reckon it'll be like Mark Zara riding. I reckon.
Mark.
Matt Laurie.
Jamie
Laurie.
Carr, maybe.
Year-long already has that.
Jamie Mark,
already has that year-long connection with Vinrock. So,
yeah.
Mate, speaking of, he was good. Didn't really run too much time. Vinrock would have been beaten by big old Cafe Millennium by about 5 lengths.
Oh,
Lindsay Park have turned around the big Cafe.
oh, he's a prick of a horse. I was on Transatlantic, so that hurt. But Vinrock. I was on Vinrock. He was good. What do you think he's a genuine 1400 metre horse? Would you see him stretching out in the Caulfield Guineas? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. Depends how it's run, I reckon. I'm not too sure about Vinrock. I think he's bit of an enigma. I think he feels himself a bit, and I think I reckon he could have a sustained preparation, and then once he loses interest, he will run last like Animo used to.
Yeah. He's a thick cold, isn't he?
Oh yeah, like he was sweating up. You could see, he was foaming at the mouth. You could see it.
I watched the replay.
So
I missed it yesterday.
so he but immense talent and hell of a turnaround as well. But he was the clear class in the race as well. So, but $3, I need to see it. And he'll be a similar, if not shorter, price next start, depending on where he goes. So, he'll probably land in a Caulfield Guineas, I'd say. It'll be interesting to see what price he starts there, especially against the likes of, like, say, your Autumn Boys and the likes. So, I think he's proven to beat the Sydney Colts and already. So I reckon he could potentially do it again.
Yep. Yeah, he might be in a Golden Rose next start, maybe. 2 goes at the 1400 metres and maybe go to a Caulfield Guineas. But no, he was good.
Yeah, it was very good. Mate, what happened with the She's an Artist in the first?
Oh, not a good start to the day for the victim. She got absolutely jammed in. I don't know. It was pretty hot pace up front, and she was sort of leading. But I thought she was a bit plain, a bit disappointing. She's not a very big filly.
No, but she would have beaten home Legacy Bound, that race rather, by about 5.2 lengths, and then My Gladiola by 2 lengths. So it's a hell of a benchmark 78, as we kind of alluded to.
Strong benchmark 78.
So I think, and she also had a slow recovery as well. So I think there's obvious. So I think she's done pretty well to finish 4th there. You're going to get a price for her next start, which is good, and I think you can make it back for She's an Artist. So I wouldn't drop off, all things considered. But yeah, Legacy Bound got the bob. Blew late too. Got 550 in the end, which was nice.
Yeah. He's a gelding, isn't he? Legacy Bound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unbeaten.
Mate, and came through that that Morphettville race that
Growing Empire. That's right. You mentioned that.
Yeah, so, and very similar wins if you actually looked at them. But I think he'll be better for the experience down the straight as well. But, you know, who'd he beat here? Like Navy Pilot, Tycoon Star. I thought he was one that had a bit more upside, which is why I sided with him. Market disagreed, but I'm all the richer for it. You know what I mean? So,
Fuck the market.
yeah, but I guess like we kind of saw it in the 2-year-old year. I think it's fair to say that I thought the fillies had the edge on the boys.
Yep.
I think what we've seen in the 3-year-old year so far is that trend is continuing. So my Gladiola was really good, I thought.
She was good, yeah. And I thought she looked the winner a long way out as well. She was in the right part of the track. Loomed up really nicely. Great ride by Jamie Mott, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, she was a good winner. Like, she'll find her way into a Coolmore. You know, what does she start in a Coolmore, do you think?
$6-7.
Yeah. I think she'd be single figures. As it stands right now, I don't think she's the winner of that race, but happy to be on her yesterday at about $5. Yeah.
I think I said this on Thursday, and if I didn't, I'm saying it now. A filly like her, she's best ridden quiet, and I think you can do that down the straight and not give up too much of a start. So I think Flemington is almost cherry ripe for her down the straight. Whereas where she went around favourite in like the Blue Diamond, like Caulfield's probably not her jam, Moonee Valley's probably not her jam, where if I got her to say like a Randwick, I think she'd go quite well there as well. Nice 450 metre straight. But Flemington, I think you can kind of just put her in the right lane and just get her through her gears. I thought she did hit the front and kind of float around, go like, oh yeah, job's done. So I think she's still learning her craft too. But that was only, her third or fourth start. So I think there's still some upside there. She's probably the best of the 3-year-old fillies from Melbourne, I'd say.
Yeah, yep. And she's a gorgeous filly too. Yeah, I think you nailed it. Just stick her to the straight races. She'll find her way into a Coolmore. Yeah, ride her quiet. Hopefully draw her out.
Yeah, exactly right. Cafe Millennium we talked about. Yeah, mate, hell of a day for Lindsay Park. How many did they have in the end? 1, 2, 3. Basically 3 of the majors, which is unbelievable stuff. Including, a race-to-race double with Cafe Millennium and Arkansas Kid, who went back-to-back in the Bobby Lewis as well, defeating Star Patrol, who was a long time off but had market support. So, well done by Clinton McDonald there. Royal Insignia was solid, I thought.
Yep.
Probably
Solid.
just not up to that grade, maybe.
No, and had a fair bit of weight off them as well. I think was the bottom weight, so on the minimum.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll win a race, but yeah, probably in weaker company.
Yeah. And I'd like to make this public. I'm officially breaking up with Corniche. Officially.
Fair enough.
Second last, and they need to follow up the stable. So maybe he's got some underlying issues or something. And maybe he's like, say, you know how, and I'm not saying, I'm just making this comparison because it's the first thing that came to mind. I'm not by any means saying he is in the same, grade or even like conversation of this horse, but remember when Nature Strip was really inconsistent?
Yeah, he's not in that league, is he?
No, but what they found was Nature Strip was allergic to hay, and then they switched out his box to newspaper clippings, and he basically was clean-winded, and that's when he started running 1,200 metres. Maybe there's just something weird like that with this horse, where he's got a bit of allergies and is just a bit lethargic, because he has a hell of a lot of talent. I just need to see him do it now.
Yeah, he's got a block nose, Corniche.
So if I see in the press that they've made him go over the jumps at training, or
just to enthuse him a little bit, energize him.
Yeah, like I'll be back on him, but I need something funky like that to happen before.
If there's a Saturday later on in the spring that he's featuring at double figures, you have to have something on him.
Oh mate, just
like you've broken up with him, but sometimes you go back to your ex one more time. You know what I mean? Just one more time.
One more time. But and then Revelare booked his spot in the Melbourne Cup. I was on the Grey Mormona. Thought I was a chance. Thought I was a red hot
likely.
chance, but any cut in the ground and that horse would have won, I thought. Very well ridden by Makybe, but Declan Bates, Revelare was pretty much... They were the only two horses that you wanted to be on in the entire run.
Yeah, Revelare was good. The victim was on, but wasn't confident at that price, to be honest. So didn't really have a go, but just a small one. But these So You Think geldings, I love them. They get better with age, better with racing, and he's built up a pretty good CV heading into a cup. They were interviewing Robert Hickmott after, and he was talking about maybe a Bart Cummings next, or maybe even a Caulfield Cup, heading into a Melbourne Cup. Look, is he a horse who's good enough to win a Melbourne Cup? I'm not sure. I still think there's a ceiling to be found for that horse. He might be that one that's classic, a local horse that the market piles into, and he starts, $7 or $8 and does nothing, maybe. But I still think there's plenty of depth to Revelare, so we'll see.
You know where you back this horse? You back him in the Melbourne Cup, but in the top 10 markets.
Yeah.
I've no doubt he'll run in the first half of the field in a Melbourne Cup. He just won't be winning it. And surely with the likes of Sir Delius heading there, and I'd assume like your Buckaroos and whoever else, but that horse has to start 20-1, I would have thought. And then you can get some sort of a price, maybe even money, for him to run top 10. And I think that's a great bet.
You love that market.
Yeah, mate, I nail it each year.
You know?
I get one at 100-1 each year. And he pays like maybe 5 or 6-1 to run top 10. Happens every single year.
It does. So 3,200 metres is different gravy.
It is. You just gotta read the tea leaves, guys.
Yeah.
We've touched on the dross Makybe Diva.
Dross.
Absolute dross. Lazura. J-Mac nails the ride. Perfect spot. And to your point earlier as well about not knowing what the horse racing gods have planned, and in terms of, say, mapping out a preparation for Treasure of the Moment and Via Sistina, you can get the perfect run in transit, like on display, and just not get a crack at them.
I didn't have any eyes for her in the race because I was on... Sorry, the victim was on Lazura and I was following him in. Favourite bashing. But I watched the replay. That was terrible. That's got my butt a little bit sore for on display.
Yeah.
Sore butt.
And it wasn't Benny Mellon's fault. He did nothing wrong. He got her in the perfect spot.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. And that's where, in the coffin, is probably... I'm so happy when I'm in that spot, but that's going to happen to you from time to time, and you just got to cop it.
It is. It's a shame, and I'm not saying she wins, but geez, she would have been a lot closer than where she ended up on display. She's got a good race in her for sure. But it's funny how often that happens at Flemington, like big, wide open track, and how often that happens is funny, but. J-Mac gave Lazura an absolute peach. Friend of the podcast, Jake Millen, he picks it up while we're watching it. J-Mac was on one side whipping her, and then when she got challenged and she was hitting a flat spot, changed hands, got her on the other side, found another gear. He's in those situations, there's no one better just to give him that extra half a head to get him over the line. She's a good horse, Lazura. Is she a Group 1 horse? Maybe in a handicap, but I just think she's a really good quality black type mare.
Yeah, I don't think she stretches out to a mile.
No.
So I think we've learnt that for sure yesterday. Maybe on rain affected ground she could improve a few lengths.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a Goldilocks situation with her. But she's got a fantastic, she's tactical. She could go back, she can go forward. But so maybe the Golden Eagles potentially the grand final for her, because if you go, I'd say that she's more likely to run well in that comparing to an Empire Rose. Like,
yep, I agree.
So, especially
back at home, Rose Hill.
Yeah, exactly. So where it's probably more likely to be wet ground than good ground. I'd say. Yeah, we'll see. You know, in the stable, they'll put in nominations for both, and they'll just choose their own adventure.
Yep.
But I think that's on display's race, the Empire Rose.
Do you know who's a frustrating horse?
Who's that?
Abounding.
She is, but I think she'll go to the Empire Rose and she'll run a place at 21.
Yeah.
Like, she'll...
every time she pops up in a market at that sort of $8, $9, $10, as she does often, every single time I see her, I feel like I need to have something on her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's that sort of horse.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the reason for that, right, is she runs into the money more often than not, but she does it at a price.
Yeah.
Where if she's $4 in a market, I'm not touching her. No. Like, because there's too many questions for her, but she runs so well, but you get a price for her every single time where you can have a gamble that maybe today's the day.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what? Your Empire Rose take is elite. She has to go on the quaddie.
Yeah, she has to.
She has to.
Yeah, absolutely. And rumour has it we're doing a hosted pot that day. So you best know that she'll be included.
Oh my God, that's sexual.
And then the last Golden Path beat Kingswood and Young Werter.
Oh, Kingswood. Friend of the podcast, Jake Millen, was all in on Young Werter. I was like, where's this coming from?
Mate,
where's this coming from? But at 12-1, he was like, oh mate, trust me, he'll run a place, and he did. To be fair, the victim was on Kingswood. I think he's a good horse, Kingswood. There's a race in him somewhere, first up after a long time off. But yeah, Blakey Bill in the last.
Yeah, maybe like can he get out to 2,400 metres? Maybe like a Zipping Classic or something.
Yeah. Well, what's that? Is that the race on Melbourne Cup Day?
Nah, that's at Sandown usually, and it's like
that's
2 weeks
right.
after the Cup.
But isn't there another staying race on Cup Day?
Zipping won 4 of them in a row. Yeah,
that's right.
there's like that's like the White Marlin and Salcombe race.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's like 2,800 metres. I don't think he runs that.
No.
Nah.
But he'd be a $25 pop in the Caulfield Cup.
Oh God, what's his rating? I think he'd have to improve significantly to be heading there, I would imagine.
I thought he would have had a black type against his name, surely.
Kingswood?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's have a look. And I think the thing is like you have to do it. Remember, who's the Waller runner that had that outstanding Moonee Valley Cup win, and then did nothing since? In the green and black striped silks. And he just kept running, and he just did absolutely nothing. And he got market support last year into about $4 for a race, and he ran last.
What's his name? El Bodegon Silks.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that's really pissing me off.
Moonee Valley Cup winners.
He's a tendon.
Yeah. Francesco
Guardi. You David Gately's of the world, obsessed with that horse.
I know.
It's like you've got a rating out, as Julian Valance would say, on an island somewhere, and it's just whether they can get back to that island. I don't think Francesco Guardi can get back to that Julian Valance island. He looks like he chills out on an island with no sunscreen constantly. Julian Valance, he loves a tan, that fella, but he knows his stuff. I'll tell you what, him and Nick Ashman. Like, I could listen to them talk about horse racing all day. They fucking know that shit.
Mate, definitely. Absolutely.
But yeah, Francesco Guardi, Kingswood, maybe a similar ilk.
I can't see. I'm sure there's an order of entry for the Caulfield Cup somewhere, but from looking at the form guide, Kingswood is a 99 rater, and he's won a Group 3 Coonji. So he would pass the ballot clause, but I'd say he'd have to improve to make the field, I'd say. But the Caulfield Cup's a pretty dross race each year now, anyway.
Long tail.
Yeah, huge long tail. So, yeah, if he does start that, you're right. He will be 30 to 1. All right. Quick look at Rose Hill. Looking at the undercard. Nova Centauri won the highway. So the Source gets one early, which is good. I will say, actually, bit of a pattern. No disadvantage to be on speed in Sydney yesterday. I think Tempted was the only horse to come back from worse than 5th in the running at the 400 metres. She came from 6th at the 400 metres. So, but that was probably one of the more genuinely run races of the day as well. So that obviously helps. But yeah, a lot of them were in the first 4 at the 400 metres, if not leading. So, take that as you will. Track started as soft 6 and landed up soft 5 as well. So all the naysayers saying that, Sydney's no good, full credit to the managers. They had the weather to help themselves as well.
Yep.
The Source also had Firestar at 13 to 1, knocking off Benny Scarf's bet of the day.
Oh, no, Benny. Unlucky, bruh. Unlucky.
So, and friend of the show, Josh Bell, has a not significant, but a stake in Catch the Glory. So, unfortunate for you, bruh. The Ming Dynasty. So, 60s on pace dominated. Heavily backed last start. Forget what race that was, but I'd say it would be the Grand Prairie race where Tyreek went amiss. Autumn Boy was really good. A lot of good judges were basically going, I don't know whether this horse is much chop because he hasn't beaten anything yet, but he got, despite all those good judges making those calls, he still got absolutely slammed in the betting into 260. Yep. Really good. And I think he shortened for the Caulfield Guineas off the back of that as well. So, really good run. I think this Without Peer has a race in it. Be it a spring champion or something. That was his 3rd ever career start, and I think he's only going to improve with more racing under his belt as well. So maybe he's a prep away, but there's a race in him that Without Peer. I think he's pretty good.
Yep. Agreed. I thought Autumn Boy was great. How do you think that race sort of stacks up against some of the other 3-year-old races we've seen?
I don't think there's any stars in this. Like, I've seen one of the biggest spooks on a horse without him running into the placings yet is this Federalist. Like, mate, you can trial up as much as you like. You can, your mum could be the queen for all I like. You actually need to go out there and do it. Like, so literally off hype and hype alone, this horse is confirmed to go on for a Victoria Derby, right? Now, some good judges had a spec bet of 50 to 1. I think that's good shopping, right? If you know a horse is well bred, is going that way, and it looks like he's going to stay. But now he's into like 20 to 1 for that race or something. I'm like, guys, like, surely there's better exposed form over that journey, right? This horse hasn't done anything yet.
Yeah, I'm perplexed by that as well, to be honest. And the 2,500 metre Victoria Derby for 3-year-olds who've just turned 3, some of them probably still 2. That's a journey, mate. Like, that's a journey. And he's a Vinny colt out of Arcadia Queen. Arcadia Queen, didn't want to see her further than 2,000 metres. She was a phenomenal horse. But I'm Invincible. He doesn't breed stays, although, we've spoken about that meaning absolutely nothing, just as recently as last year's Melbourne Cup winner being out of Extreme Choice. 20 to 1 is lunacy. Absolute lunacy for a Victoria Derby for that horse. Disgusting.
I'd say he would have drifted back out off the back of it, but sometimes there's just Fugazi hype on some gallopers.
Fugazi.
And you just got to see through it and go like, actually, what's actually real life sort of stuff, you know? And
Do you know what's real life? That horse turning up in Derby Silks, racing in Queensland. That's real life.
Oh, that could be real life. I'm assuming. What is he? I'm assuming he's still got his nuts. Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not chopping the nuts off a son of Arcadia Queen anytime soon.
Yeah, I think you might be forced into a situation where you have to. Was not a good day for the Hawks stable yesterday, I might say. Now Manar wins the Shirako at 11-1. Trialled up well, failed down in Melbourne. Back to the scene of the crime in Rose Hill. She ran really well. Beats out Dark Glitter, who's, a consistent mare, but, her SP was $51. Gangster Granny was 3 wide. The Trip beaten a tick under 2 lengths. Probably disappointing at the price, but I think she's run well. And then Steffi beaten 3.2. That's what Steffi does first up. And then Amina was beside her. Now, I thought she just got held up at the wrong time, Amina. And I was initially disappointed with the run, but I was like, she didn't really have a shot at them. But then she's kind of zoomed home. I think people are going to black book Steffi Magnetica out of the race, but I wouldn't discount Amina's run off the back of that either, because she basically finished and she was zooming aside Steffi there, and I think the runs were just as good as each other, if not slightly better Amina moving forward.
Yeah, difficult race to try and take some form out of it, but I think you're right. I think Amina is the one because she's going to start a bigger price compared to what Steffi's going to start wherever she goes. What do you think's on Amina's target list this spring? Is she a 4-year-old?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay.
So probably if she's kicking off at the 1200 there, probably a Golden Eagle, I would say.
Kieran Ichiban sprint on Derby Day?
No, I don't think so. Like either that, or if they want to keep her at the sprinting distances, I reckon she could feature in that overpass sprint, the mini Everest.
Yep.
On Everest Day, I reckon that's a good race for her.
Yep.
But we'll see. Now the run to the Rose, Godolphin. I think this is 6 out of 7 now that they've won.
Yeah.
And they ran the Quinella here, which is unbelievable. Tempted. Run of the race, huge market support at $4. I think the stable was saying that this was their best shot of the day. You can just trust that all these trainers want to make an impression for Godolphin, and this was a massive performance by Tempted.
Yeah. She was whacked in the market despite the pattern of the day, as you said. I was very keen on her, and I think... do you know what? Can't remember who it was, but there was someone on radio this week who said, Ethan Brown's gone up to Sydney for the ride on Pia. So, nah, bro. He's up in Sydney for the ride on Tempted. Who you fucking talking to? Godolphin horse, Kieran Maher... gets his favourite jockey, I think, Ethan Brown, up to take the ride. Got her into a fantastic position, perfectly ridden, and she's a good horse. Like, I just think she's a filly who is gonna improve, and I don't know if she's a Golden Rose type. I say she'll run there, but bring her back down to Flemington on the straight on Derby Day in the Coolmore.
Yeah, it's got that written over it, right? And I think given the performance of Everest runners in Coolmores, I think that's her prep. I think it would just be exclusively at the sprinting distances. I think she goes Everest into a...
she takes the Godolphin slot.
Yeah, I reckon. Like, who else are you going to give it to?
No, fair.
You know who I think, obviously, she would have been absolutely slammed in Coolmore markets now.
Oh, yeah. Too late now.
So, I think there is a Godolphin horse that could beat her in that race, though, and that's Tentris, who's with Anthony and Sam Friedman, and I think he's kicking off in the next couple of weeks. And
son of Street Boss.
The way they're talking about him as well is I think all roads are open for him as well. So he could actually be heading towards an Everest, which makes me want to bet on him first up as well. Wherever he goes, I think he's going to run a huge race.
I think he's a throbber. I think he's a 3-year-old colt throbber.
Yep. Yeah, and I think he's probably because he didn't run in the slipper.
No, because remember he Nash was on him and won the silver slipper, maybe. Was it the silver slipper?
Something like that.
And I think he would have been pushed into close to favouritism, probably behind Wotan in the slipper. And then something happened and they had to pull up stumps. That probably could be a blessing in disguise for that colt. He's the one, I think, who's going to make the step. But Tempted is right there with him. She was for a filly who had a pretty taxing 2-year-old prep. She was phenomenal.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's a good point. Baylock was good. Sitting off that decent tempo, he held on well, but probably pattern of the day assisted him. Skyhook was really good. I think he's a good colt. I think he will improve getting out to the 1400 metres as well.
Off a freshen up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 4 weeks between runs there, so I think he's only going to benefit from that match fitness. There is a race for Wotan. I don't know if it's the Golden Rose, and I don't know if he's going to win it as a 3-year-old. But to be fair, and I was maybe a bit emotional yesterday after talking about it, but he was 3 wide without cover from the 800 metres yesterday, and he's only been beaten less than 3 lengths against the pattern. I think he's actually run really well. All in all, but I just don't know where he fits, and I don't know if I want to find out, because unlike an Abounding, he runs on really well, but you have to take unders for him every single time.
Yeah. I don't know where he fits either. You know what it could be? It could be a Newmarket handicap in the autumn sort of horse. I don't know. Is he a 1400 metre horse? Is he a 1200 metre horse? I'm not sure, but you're right. Like what was he yesterday? 550?
Yeah, he blew massively late, big time. So he started about $750, $8.
Did he?
Yeah, which is probably
That's
the first
telling,
time
isn't it?
we've seen for him. But I think he's outrun his price, to be fair. I think so I thought it was a get in, get out job. I reckon I could still do that. It's like, redraw, go again. I just don't know.
At a price, probably.
I'm going to pick my moment with him. So I think I'm convinced he wins something. I just don't know what it is. And Raging Force, I think, had a slow recovery as well, beaten 4.5 lengths, so that's a forgive. Rivellino's just not up to this class.
He hasn't made the jump, has he?
No, he hasn't, and you don't need to when you've won a Millennium. You've got plenty in the bank. The one that is puzzling is Nepotism. He was really flat, and I think he was favourite for the Golden Rose prior to that. So, what do you do with him?
I don't know. I don't know. He got a long way back on a track where you didn't want to be a long way back, but it was a genuinely run race. I don't know. He'll run in a Golden Rose. If he's a big price, I'll have a saver on him. I had a small bet on him yesterday because he's 10-1. I thought that was a stupid price. But based on that, you want to see him at least at a mile, and then further out. But maybe he's not a Cox Plate 3-year-old. Maybe he's a Spring Champion 3-year-old.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think. And that's why I was saying it was a terrible day for the Hawks stable yesterday. That a lot of not bubbles burst, but there's pressure. The pressure gauge is building. I would have thought. So,
Yeah.
We'll see. Looking at this Golden Rose market, you have Tempted at 360, Autumn Boy at 460, Wotan at 7s, Skyhook at 8s, Nepotism at 10s, Vinrock at 13s. If he's heading there, that might be a bet. Baywalk at 15s, Apocalypse at 19s, Within the Law 21s with 60s, and Tycoon Star and Rosberg. Rosberg won't be heading there.
Tricky.
Very tricky. Very tricky. I think that was pretty much everything. Was there anything else? Oh, yeah, Autumn Glow, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, just dominant. Good horse. Perfect spot. Won by 2.5 lengths in probably second gear.
Yeah, she's a star.
Yeah. Beating a Group 3 sprinter in General Salute. And Pierre, first up, beaten 4 lengths, but he'll run a place in a Epsom, I would have thought.
Yeah. What do you reckon she'll get in an Epsom? I hope she goes there. Still talking about Everest for her. She's a miler if I've ever fucking seen one.
Mate, she'll start. She might be the first sub $2 horse in an Epsom that we see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reckon she'll get? 54?
Yeah. Ish. She won't be top weight. She won't be bottom weight. So, yeah, that sounds about right.
Do you know what's interesting about her? I'm keen to get your thoughts. She doesn't look like she has like an electric turn of foot, and her actual style of running actually doesn't look super fluent to my eye. Do you know what I mean?
I thought you can tell she's the daughter of her dad, the Autumn Sun.
Yeah.
Similar strides, just length on them. Just
really
sheer length on the stride, but efficiency. Can get a lot out of it,
Yeah.
And I think what you can do with those sort of horses is you just need to get them in clear air and they'll just take care of it for you.
Yeah. But yeah, she doesn't look like she goes on a dime and just sprints. She just, you're right. Just needs that to wind up and go through her gears.
Yeah. Where I feel like the Autumn Sun, to my eye, he probably had a more exaggerated stride to her in terms of length, but he almost looked like I reckon he could have run over any distance, that horse. Yeah. He just looked like he was just a freak. Which is just a shame that we don't see these horses at 4 or 5 years old like we used to. But
you imagine the size he would have got to. Fuck.
Oh, mate. Big, thick.
I love it. I love a big entire. I love it.
Yeah. But no, I know what you mean. And I think if she does get beaten, it might be in an Epsom because she'll probably find a lot of trouble. I think the worst thing for this horse...
Especially with Karen McAvoy on board.
Worst thing for this horse in Epsom would be drawing the inside gate, barrier 1. Inside 5 barriers would be disastrous, I feel.
All eyes on her.
Yeah, and you just don't let her out. And then it's good luck. Because you can see absolute horror shows on display. Some horses want to take the gaps and what have you. I think she's probably one of those, but sometimes there aren't gaps to actually take.
Yeah.
You can't actually do anything. So
yeah, you almost would prefer to have her 3 wide no cover than trapped on the rails in a pocket. Absolutely,
mate. Especially how these Epsons are currently run. They're farcically run races at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
last 2 or 3 years, Radina won it from on speed position. Cheerwolf was probably the most visually impressive, but he's different gravy from a handicap miler.
Can run on.
I hope you're breaking up with Espionage moving forward as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Didn't have a cent on him yesterday. I didn't have a cent on anything in that race. Okay. But no, I've had my chance with him, and he's had his chance with me, and we've both left very sore.
All right, Group 1's next weekend. The Sir Rupert Clarke, Angel Capital at 3s with Sepals at 5s, Damask Rose at 7s with Lazura, Another will at 9s. Magic Time 11s with Royal Patronage at 13s with Miss Rombini Evaporate.
Kitty on Steeples. Oh, look. Angel Capital and Steeples, both mine. Like, they're both horses I've got a lot of time for.
Yeah.
And I think they're both incredibly likely.
Incredibly likely. Might have to reshare a bet that I've put in. Drifters, it pays to listen sometimes. The Underwood Stakes, I've got a ticket for $11 for Sir Delius. He's $2.40 now.
That is horny work.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So
that's genuine sex work.
I might get something out of him, even though he's. Let's put it this way: I don't think he's scared off going to a Cox Plate after seeing that Makybe Diva yesterday.
Well said.
So yeah, $2.40 for him. Buckaroo at 4s, won the race impressively last year. Moira, who will inject some speed into this race at 5s with Desert Lightning at 9s. Mr. Brightside could back up. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if half the field backs up in that Underwood. $11. Will he do it at 13s? Aliana at 13s. Anisette 15s with Golden Path at 15s. And Zardozi $17 and longer the rest. Don't need to bet again. Sir Delius at $11. This sounded pretty nice.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to take him on in that race, and I didn't get the 11, so I can't bet now. I'm not taking $2. That's ridiculous.
No,
but I think he wins that.
And then looking forward, Manicato Stakes night, Lady Shenandoah at $2.50, Barraquil at $4.50. War Machine will kick off there, I'd believe, at $5, awfully short. Angel Capital at 7s, Skybird 7s, Magic Time at 8s, Alabama Lass at 9s. Between the top two.
I think Shenandoah has that wrapped up.
Yeah. I feel like Barraquil will improve getting out to further. But
I think so. I think she's a better horse than Barraquil.
Absolutely she is. But good horses have lost the Manicato Stakes as well.
Good horses don't handle the valley sometimes.
Sometimes. Stranger things have happened.
Mm-hmm.
We've gone through the Golden Rose, which is grand final day, so hopefully we'll be preoccupied. And yeah, that's the rest for September. But all in all, I feel like we've bitched and moaned enough about the Makybe Diva, but full credit to the Mr. Brightside and the connections, but you ain't so you think, bruh.
Yeah, bruh. Yeah, enjoy that 20 million prize money. You fucking losers. Oh my god. Nah, yeah, well done to him. Well done to the Hayes boys. Hopefully we don't see a race like that anytime soon.
Hopefully. But plenty of racing still to unpack. Still enjoying the hell out of this spring. So we'll be back on Thursday to preview all of the quality races. Wherever you listen to your podcast and on YouTube.
Go get them, drifters. See you next week.
Hurrah now. Bye-bye.